When it comes to the Houston Texans, I truly wonder where to even start. It's not very often that you see franchise quarterbacks contemplating leaving their current situation, regardless of how good or bad that situation has been. Now, Lions fans might get mad at me, but I mean, come on. How many years has Matthew Stafford been with the Detroit Lions? This is a franchise that hasn't exactly been a pinnacle of greatness, and Lions fans, I'm sorry, but I'm sure a lot of you guys would probably agree with me. It's tough to exactly put a number on where Deshaun Watson ranks when it comes to best quarterbacks in the league, but without a doubt, I truly do believe he's been one of the best, despite being put in situations to fail year after year after year. This video, we're going to be talking about Deshaun Watson demanding a trade from the Houston Texans. But before we go any further, you're not going to want to miss another Red Zone Coop video, so make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Deshaun Watson has been in the league for seasons. Every season, he's played over 15 games. He's had 3,800 yards or more. This past season alone, Deshaun Watson had 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And did I mention Deshaun Watson lost his number one receiver? I'm not talking about DeAndre Hopkins, even though that was a monstrous blow and one of the most questionable moves I have ever seen, which actually follows a line of questionable moves made by the Houston Texans. I'm talking about Will Fuller. 1, 2, you can argue he was the 2, but without a doubt, Will Fuller was definitely lighting things up in Houston this season. The Texans lose Fuller. An already slim receiving core becomes even slimmer, but that wouldn't stop Watson. He throws for 4.8K all the same. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Texans have been bad forever and they'll never be good again, but I'm sure a lot of the Texans' recent moves have rubbed Deshaun Watson the wrong way. As a matter of fact, I know they have. Just a season ago, the Texans were in the NFL playoffs. They lost, but they were there. The Texans may have lost in one of the most disappointing ways imaginable, but they were there. And honestly, I'm going to take that back because as a Saints fan, trust me, I know disappointment.
There is pass interference, and is it big enough in the replay situation they have with pass interference now to call? Clearly.
But perhaps there's nothing more disappointing to Texans fans than Deshaun Watson demanding a trade. Reportedly, Deshaun Watson has quietly talked with his teammates about the possibility that he may request a trade from the Houston Texans. For one, I think it's pretty solid that Deshaun Watson is talking everything over with his teammates first, but as an NFL fan, I do feel a little bad for the Houston Texans, because this is a team that has had all of the potential in the world. This is a team that has had a ton of talent. This is a team that it feels like seasons ago was a quarterback away, a coach away. They get that quarterback. The coaching is questionable and they just fail. There's no way around it. We know how hard getting the right coach in the NFL is. Again, I'm not going to call Bob the right coach, but Deshaun Watson, the right quarterback. We know how hard getting a solid quarterback in the NFL can be. There are franchises that suffer years and years and years of mediocrity simply because they cannot find a decent quarterback, let alone a franchise guy like Deshaun Watson. Now, Pro Football Talk also went on to say, if these talks with Deshaun Watson and his teammates are happening, it could just be a strategic effort to ensure his views are respected by ownership. Regardless, it raises the stakes and crosses a bridge and potentially sets the foundation for Watson eventually to decide that he'd like to continue his career elsewhere. Now, the chances are if you trade Watson, you're going to incur a giant cap hit. With what you would get back for trading Deshaun Watson, that cap hit would definitely be worth it. You would likely be a team that's looking to rebuild anyway, looking to find a quarterback or build a roster that helps benefit your quarterback once you find that next guy. And of course, now I'm seeing that Deshaun Watson is extremely unhappy with the organization after the owner informed him that he would be involved in the GM and coach hiring process and be able to provide feedback, but then the owner didn't include him in the process or anything. You see, at least according to Bleacher Report, Deshaun Watson advocated for the Texans to hire the Chiefs' offensive coordinator, but they didn't even interview him. The Chiefs have an absolutely unreal offense. It's like clockwork. It's understandable why Deshaun Watson would want somebody that has been studying under Andy Reid and one of the most prolific offenses we have ever seen. To make matters worse, apparently Watson and the Texans GM have not talked. The Texans GM went on record and said he's our quarterback. I can't tell you how much respect and admiration I have for him as a player. He's one of the best players in the league at a premium position that covers up a lot of flaws for the Houston Texans. So yeah, I'm sure the GM is going to love him. Now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with the hiring of the Texans GM, who I would like to ask, how many Pro Bowlers has this guy drafted? The Patriots have always struck me as a very well-coached team. They do very solid developing talent. But to be honest, the Patriots have never struck me as a great drafting team. I think it's funny how people want to be the Patriots so bad, how NFL teams want to be the Pats so bad, and we continually see people get hired from the Patriots organization and fail elsewhere. Even when it comes to players, we see a lot of players go elsewhere and just not be as good as they have been for the Patriots. Now, it's been a very tough season for the Pats, so I'm not going to go in on them too much. To touch back on what I was saying earlier, a lot of people have been tweeting about what it would cost to get Deshaun Watson, and I've seen some people saying it would take 3 first-round picks. I'm not sure how many picks you can trade in the NFL at one time, but I definitely think it would take more than 3 first-round picks to get somebody like Deshaun Watson. Let me know how many picks you guys think it would take down in the comments below. JJ Watt also seems like somebody that is going to look into playing football elsewhere in the upcoming seasons. Now, I'm going to play you guys this clip, and I just want to know what you think of the clip.
Good job, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We wasted one of your years. I'm sorry. You should have 11 wins. Pretty
much, Deshaun Watson apologizes for wasting one of JJ Watt's remaining years, and in no way is this on Deshaun Watson. He did everything he could. He just did not have the resources around him that he needed. JJ Watt has struck me as somebody that knows the NFL is not going to be forever. Now, JJ Watt might not be in his prime anymore, but you're not going to sit here and tell me JJ Watt could not help a team looking to win a Super Bowl. And if the Texans aren't going to be contending next season, this is a team that should definitely look into trading JJ Watt and getting back some assets. There's one thing I've learned from watching sports, if nothing else, and that's if you're willing to part with talent that wants out, you can definitely accelerate a rebuild. Now, rebuilding in the NFL is a little harder than the NBA, a lot harder, but I'm sure you guys get my point. In the comments below, let me know what teams you think should go after Deshaun Watson. Tyron is thinking the Saints, the 49ers, or even Chicago. Chicago's a team that's been a quarterback away for a super long time. The Saints make a lot of sense to me. I'm a Saints fan. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Red Zone Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.